When you walk through the grocery store these days, it is easy to feel like taking care of your health has become a luxury reserved for the wealthy. You see the exotic berries from distant mountains, the bright tropical fruits that cost as much as a meal, and you are told that these are the secrets to feeling young and seeing clearly. But for many of you watching, especially if you are managing a fixed income, that advice feels like a door slamming shut. It creates a silent worry that maybe, because you cannot afford these luxury items, you are destined to accept blurry vision as just another part of getting older. Perhaps you have found yourself holding a receipt, looking at the total cost for a few healthy items, and feeling that familiar pinch of anxiety. You might have even thought to yourself that if this is what it takes to be healthy, you would rather just accept your fate. But that feeling of resignation, that quiet acceptance of vision loss, is exactly what we need to address today. Because the truth is, the global multi-billion-dollar supplement and superfood industry has done a masterful job of convincing us that the solution to our health problems must come from somewhere far away and expensive, when in reality, the most powerful medicines for your eyes are likely already growing in your local area or sitting in your kitchen right now, costing just pennies. The real pain isn't just the blurriness when you try to read a book or the frustration of driving at night. It is the underlying fear that you are losing your independence and that you cannot afford to get it back. So today, we're going to dismantle that fear by looking not at expensive imports, but at the 5 local, affordable foods that can actively work to reverse the mechanisms that steal your sight. To understand why these local foods are so effective, we first have to look at what is actually happening inside the biology of an aging eye. For decades, we have been told that blurry vision is simply a mechanical failure, like the lens of a camera getting worn out. We are told it is just genetics, or the inevitable passage of time. But modern research into longevity is revealing a very different story, one that has nothing to do with wear and tear, and everything to do with energy and blood flow. Think of the blood vessels in your eyes not as rigid pipes, but as delicate living rivers that deliver oxygen and nutrients to the hungry cells of your retina. These cells, the photoreceptors that allow you to see your grandchildren's faces or read the morning paper, require more energy per gram than almost any other tissue in your body. They are metabolic powerhouses, the hidden cause of blurry vision. The one the expensive fruit companies don't want you to know about is often a condition called retinal hypoxia, or in simpler terms, a lack of oxygen reaching those hungry cells. As we age, the tiny vessels can become less efficient, and the blood can become thicker or sludgier, slowing this vital river to a trickle. This is compounded by a process known as glycation, where excess sugar molecules in your bloodstream essentially attach to proteins, creating something that looks like rust inside your tiny vessels. When these vessels get rusty and clogged, the retina starts to suffocate. It sends distress signals, and your vision blurs not because the structure is broken, but because the engine is starving for fuel and air. The myth of aging is that this is a structural problem. The truth of longevity is that it is a circulatory and metabolic one, and this is the good news. Because while you cannot easily replace a worn-out lens without surgery, you can absolutely change the quality of your blood and the health of your vessels, starting with your very next meal. So if the problem is starving, suffocating cells in the retina, the solution is not found in a single exotic berry flown in from another hemisphere, but in a strategic, local approach to flooding your system with the specific compounds that restore that river of blood. Let us look at the first local hero, and it is something you likely have in your refrigerator right now: the humble beet. While everyone chases after expensive acai or goji berries, the beetroot is a clinical powerhouse for blood flow. It is rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that acts as a powerful vasodilator. Imagine it as a gentle hand that reaches into your smallest capillaries and tells them to relax and open up. For the starving retina, this is like clearing a log jam in a river, suddenly allowing the water to rush forward and nourish the parched land downstream. Then consider a second local staple: dark leafy greens like kale or spinach, which you can find at any local farmer's market for a fraction of the cost of imported powders. These are packed with lutein and zeaxanthin. These two compounds are not just antioxidants. They are actually drawn to the macula, the central part of your retina, where they act as internal sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light and protecting the cells from oxidative damage, the very rust we talked about earlier. You can buy expensive supplements, or you can eat the real food that your body recognizes and utilizes far more effectively. Third, look to the onion and garlic family, specifically the humble, inexpensive onion. It is rich in quercetin, a potent flavonoid that stabilizes the cells that release histamine, reducing inflammation throughout the body, including the tiny, fragile vessels of the eye. By calming the inflammation, you stop the walls of those vessels from becoming leaky and damaged. These are not miracle cures. They are foundational repairs, using compounds that your body evolved alongside for thousands of years. However, knowing which foods to eat is only half the battle. You must also understand the strategic timing of how to eat them, because making simple mistakes can completely cancel out the benefits you are working so hard to achieve. This is what I call the timing rule, and it is based on the principle of nutrient synergy and absorption. You see, the nitric oxide boost you get from those beets is fantastic, but if you consume them with a source of processed sugar or refined carbohydrates, you create a paradox. The sugar will spike your insulin and promote that glycation process, the rusting, at the same time you are trying to open the vessels. You are effectively stepping on the gas and the brakes simultaneously. To truly fix blurry vision, you must create an environment where the nutrients can be absorbed without interference. The most powerful strategy is to consume these local vegetables with a healthy fat. The lutein in kale, for instance, is a fat-soluble compound. If you eat a plain kale salad with fat-free dressing, the lutein will simply pass through your system, never reaching the macula where it is needed most. But if you add a small amount of local olive oil, or even a few slices of avocado, you dramatically increase its bioavailability. It is like having a key that finally fits the lock. Furthermore, consider the timing of your largest meal. Eating a heavy meal late at night can cause blood sugar volatility while you sleep, starving your retina of stable oxygen supply during its critical repair cycles. Aim to consume your eye-healthy vegetables earlier in the day, paired with quality fats and lean proteins, to ensure that when your body enters its nightly repair phase, the blood flowing to your eyes is clean, oxygen-rich, and full of the building blocks it needs to heal. Now, to seal these nutritional benefits and truly lock in your progress, I want to share a simple 2-minute lifestyle ritual that acts as a physical hack to amplify everything we have discussed. This is not just about what you put in your body, but how you move the energy through it. This ritual is called palming, and it is a technique derived from ancient practices, now backed by modern understanding of the relaxation response and its effect on blood pressure. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably at a table, and rub your palms together vigorously for about 15 to 20 seconds until you generate a significant amount of heat. Then, gently close your eyes and cup your palms over them, ensuring you are not putting any pressure on the eyeballs themselves, just creating a warm, dark cocoon of darkness. The heat from your hands helps to relax the muscles around the eyes, muscles that are often chronically tight from squinting and straining to see clearly. But the deeper benefit lies in the darkness. By depriving the retina of light for just 2 minutes, you allow the photoreceptor cells to regenerate their light-sensitive pigments. You are giving them a brief but profound rest. While you sit in this darkness, breathe deeply and slowly, focusing on the idea of that warm, nutrient-rich blood flowing freely from your heart up through your neck and into the back of your eyes, delivering the beets and the greens you have eaten directly to the hungry cells. This ritual bridges the gap between the physical act of eating and the neurological reality of seeing. It reminds your entire system what relaxation and restoration feel like. We are fighting to preserve more than just your vision here. We are fighting to protect your independence. The ability to drive yourself to the store, to read a letter from a friend, to see the expression on a loved one's face. That is the currency of a life worth living. And it does not require a diet of luxury fruits. It requires knowledge, strategy, and the simple, powerful ingredients that surround you every day. If you found this information valuable, and you want to continue building a foundation of health that protects your future, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and join a community that believes in smart, sustainable wellness. Because your best years are not behind you. With the right fuel and the right knowledge, they are still very clearly in sight.